What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge.
Poindexter?
Poindexter. A lot of people get that wrong. They call it Point Dexter. I don't know why.
No, you had that thing in your tooth and it sounded like you said Poindexter.
Poindexter. Get the camera set. There's Wookie. There's the lovely Tiff-tastic. Say hi, Tiff.
Hi, Tiff.
All right, you on there?
I can't tell because I got the chat up, but I don't have us.
Who do we have here? Somebody liked it already. Yay. What's up, nerd family? Get down, Wook. Get down, dude. Dad's got to get there. Come on, we're live, dude. You can't do this on live broadcast. Come on.
I just did.
Come on, get down. All right, guys. What's up, nerd family? Welcome. It is Friday night. It's been a long day, but I'm finally home.
Very long day.
I'm finally home, and it is
What's
time.
up, Caleb?
What's up, Caleb? Hey, get out of the popcorn. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of
What
there.
is popcorn, Dad?
Crazy stuff going on. All right. But it is time for some Star Wars action. You ready for some Star Wars action?
Yes, I am.
I'm ready for some, like...
I got my Star Wars shirt, I got my Princess Leia slippers, and I got my lightsaber earrings. I was ready.
She came ready. Oh, my goodness.
Let's go in for Star Wars cute tonight.
I guess so. How are you all doing out there? Good to see you, Caleb.
Up, Bruce?
What's up, Bruce?
What's up, Darth Tasty?
Darth Tasty. I was talking with Ryan earlier. That's Darth Tasty. For all the
every
commoners, we're on a first
Isn't
name.
that every day?
I pretty much talk to Ryan every day. Yeah, Ryan's a good guy. But we were talking. He, usually he's like at the stroke of midnight. Whenever the episodes are like released, he watched them. So this week he didn't watch it, and he texted me earlier. He messaged me earlier, and he says, "Hey man, are you guys going live tonight?" Because it was already past the time that because we normally go live about 8 or 8:30 on a Friday night, but today's just been such a long day. I just got home. And he says, "You going live?" He says, "I actually didn't watch it this week yet." I'm like, "Of course, the first week that like we'd all watch it together," and but it is what it is. So.
Would you mind texting one of the kids or all three of the kids to have them take the dogs so they don't knock them?
I can't text them. I don't have my phone.
Oh.
Kind of using the phone right now.
Bruce says, I didn't watch it either, ... Been busy making stuff.
Nice. You're making some cool stuff, Bruce. Man, I've been seeing some of that stuff that you're making, man. That is so awesome that you made a working rocket firing Boba Fett. That is sweet. That is sweet. For sure. Pulling up the Disney Plus app here on the old TV. Now, last week we talked about... The episode last week kind of felt like a filler episode, so I'm really hoping this week kind of ramps it up. I'm hoping to see some of like our main characters do some stuff. So, this week.
Yes. To see if it goes beyond the, hey, we've been gone for a while. Like, give us the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, it's like that. It's been gone for so long. I expected like some
hit the ground running,
some action right there at the beginning, and they're like, I mean, they gave us a cool thing. I like the was it the bad what was it called? Not Bad Seed, Bad Batch.
That's right. It's a bad batch. Hey, watch your mouth. I'm just talking about the batch.
Just talking about batch. I tell you what, guys, I feel so much better right now because for the last 2 hours, I had some beef jerky earlier, and like, you know how when you have beef jerky and it gets stuck in your teeth and you're just like, it's driving me nuts, and you can't get it out from between your teeth. Finally did. So much happier now.
Caleb says, or Bruce says, I hope it's better than last week.
Who did?
Bruce.
Me too, Bruce.
Caleb says, yeah, I was just happy to see Obi-Wan and Anakin again. Darth says, you are definitely making some cool stuff to Bruce. Bruce says, got inspired for now.
Nice. Oops. All right. So this is called... So it looks like Anakin's going to join him because it says season 7, episode 2.
My glasses are upstairs and I'm not going to get them.
A distant echo. Hopefully they get the dogs here in a second. A distant echo says Anakin Skywalker, Rex, and the Bad Batch make a shocking discovery on Skako Minor. Is it Skako or Skako?
Skako?
Skako. Skako. Is it a Skako?
Like a gecko?
Is it a Skako? Is it Skako? Is it Skako? Hey, dogs! Stop it. I love it. Wookie just looked back at me like that smiling dog meme. He's all like... Alright, did anybody answer you?
Bruce says, let's do this.
All right.
Caleb says, I can't stay, but I'll be back in a bit.
All right, man. Turning up the volume here. Did they ever answer?
No. And Wookiee's humping her.
Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Wookiee's trying to have his way with Harley Quinn. I mean, can't blame him, but... All right. Hey, boys, I need you to take the dogs, please.
So my question to you guys is, because it's been a while and they're bringing them back and we only get so many episodes this season, what do you guys hope to see during this season?
That's a good question.
Bruce says, hey Tiff, what is up?
What do you hope to see, Tiff?
Just, I want to, if we've only got so many episodes, I want to see them kind of like rectify and kind of like have a good closing. You know how like you were talking about when you watched the show Jericho and stuff like that? It's like you would have you would have felt better if you had a definitive ending, something that was, you know, could appease the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of want that same thing. Like if you only got so many episodes, I don't necessarily have to have specific things happen, but you know, close it out pretty good. It would be nice at least.
Well, if you're gonna bring it back for a reason, right? So,
exactly.
All right, guys. So I am here. I'm on the main screen here. All I gotta do is hit play, and we'll go in 3, 2, 1. Oh, you know what? Hold on.
Bruce says, I want to see more history of Yoda. Darth says, definitely lead up to the Order 66 and Ahsoka.
That'd be nice. All right. So actually, on 3, we're gonna count from 3. On 3, we'll hit it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Actual results may vary.
Marquez says, hey guys, how you doing?
What's up, Marquez?
Answering your question, I want to see Order 66 play out during this season.
I don't think we'll see Order 66 play out because it'll end the Clone Wars, and the Clone Wars end before, well, right at there. So
But what if it's at least in the last couple episodes?
maybe.
Repeated setbacks on the planet of Axis. An elite clone squad is deployed to investigate
Darth and Ahsoka storyline.
This special unit, called the Bad Batch, infiltrates Admiral Trench's cyber center to steal a strategic algorithm capable of predicting the Republic's every move. What our heroes found was a live signal from the ARC trooper known as Echo.
That's right.
A clone long believed to be dead.
Oh, that's right.
It's like the exact same shot from last week. Thing went on the cheap. They got it.
Staff isn't completely
okay.
behind this mission. I admit the idea that Echo is still alive is a long shot.
I'm sure the council will approve the mission. Just remember the primary goal is to learn how the separatists are predicting our strategy, whether it's Echo behind it or not.
Well, if you want my opinion, it sounds like a trap. But me and the boys will tag along anyway. If only to say I told you so.
Just make sure you're ready if we get the go-ahead from General Kenobi.
His face is
If
very
you're certain
Braveheart.
he'll approve the mission, why wait? Let's get going.
First, we have that thing to do.
Hey, what thing?
You know?
Well, we don't have time for that, sir.
Yes, we do.
Well, I'll just let you two sort this out. I'll be waiting on the ship with the rest of the team.
Come on, Rex, I'm late as it is.
Anakin's got great hair.
Aw.
What?
Marquez said, we will see Order 66 during the season. If it doesn't happen, Star Wars themed shirts for the family are on me.
All right. Now I don't know what to root for. Like I watched Clone Wars Season 7 and I didn't even get Order 66.
You're late again.
Uh-oh.
Padme, I'm so sorry. We didn't anticipate the Outer Rim sieges would last this long.
That would be why they call it a siege, Anakin.
I know. I just thought that I...
You thought
Is she
you
pregnant?
could bring a swift end to the conflict single-handedly.
Yeah.
Anakin, what you're doing is important. The Republic needs you on the front lines, just as they need my voice in the Senate.
I know.
Darth was talking about the t-shirts and he says, what about the extended hair and family? LOL. Bruce says, I used to have hair, ... because we were talking about Anakin. And Darth said, Bruce, you make bald look good, LOL.
Oh, great.
It's Rex. I'm worried he's letting his personal feelings drive him too much on this mission.
I wonder where he learned that.
He looks like David Lee Roth.
I need to speak to him about this mission.
Oh, General, he's,
Well, he's inside your barracks, isn't
He's
he?
taking a poop.
yes, sir.
What's going on here?
Taking a
No,
Jedi
I
dump.
think so.
Is he forcing
Just
it?
waiting for the General. The General.
You'll have to do better than that, Captain.
So
He's
big
known
it's a
Rex
mind wipe.
long time. When you throw caution to the wind and take chances. Where is he?
Right beside me.
Then maybe that's where you should be for him, Annie. Trust his instincts, like he trusts yours.
I'm just trying to look out for him.
I know you are. I love you, Annie.
Stephen Coffey says, I love the second episode of the 7th season
And what
of
is
Clone
Anakin
Wars.
doing in there?
He's spot checking my gear, sir.
Really? Without you?
Well,
Here you go, Rex. Oh, and try not to act again.
About this mission,
He threw
the
something in
council
there.
thinks
That's a good idea.
Hmm?
I
Threw
agree.
something in his helmet.
Let's get moving, Rex.
No, wait. That's not.
No time.
I hope you at least told Padme I said hello.
Yeah, I know. I know what you be doing.
Bruce says, wow, just wow, shut up, lol. Talking about his ball.
Oh.
And Mark Moran says, Obi-Wan ain't no fool.
Nope.
LOL.
He's got a
So,
Garbage can
how many
tray.
missions has your team been on, Sergeant?
turkey leg in one hand.
honestly, sir, I've lost count. All the action sort of blurs together. I know you work with Cody sometimes, but who do you guys report to? Good question. Can't say I've got an answer.
You know Neil?
We are approaching Skako Minor. It looks to be a difficult landing.
Thanks, Scott. Is that a dragon?
I like that ship.
Rex, what do we know about this place?
On this part of Skako, there's a race of locals, the Poltecs. All we know is they're very primitive. Primitive is being kind. My intel says the Poltecs worship flying reptiles.
And there they are on cue.
What the heck was that? It's one of those reptiles. Want that thing off my ship. Hold on.
Told you.
Don't just run out there.
Mark Moran says, Avatar and Star Wars have merged.
Sounds like Man Bat from Batman.
Off of there!
Hey, calm down. We need to talk to them.
Why? The general's right.
Look out, Rex!
Neck ponytails.
I have a thermal reading. 0.25 east, elevation 175. Relax. I'll handle this. What are you doing? Going for a ride.
Nice.
That's cool. I don't know if you want to shoot the thing that's like
Carrying you?
keeping you in the air.
Maybe he's falling with style. Mark says, you guys are making me hungry with all that popcorn. Be right back. Going to get something to munch on.
Go, Mark. It's good, too. Did a great job on this.
Hone in on my signal.
I forgot after I made it that you don't install.
He looks like he has an onion on top of his head.
Okay, I think we're gonna have a slight communication problem here.
Bruce says with the turnip.
Still has a hold of the general.
That's what it is. Turnip, not an onion.
Mr. Yee says, can you put the TV, not the sound,
We're
please?
going in. But remember
Put
what the
the
general
what?
said.
Mr.
No
Yee
casualties,
says,
disarm only.
Can I turn down the
We're
sound?
on it, Captain.
can you put
Record,
the
Rosette, rock
TV,
slide.
not the sound?
I don't think I understand what you mean,
Oh,
Mr.
it
Yee.
says, flip. Can you flip the TV, not the sound? Camera, point at the TV.
No, we can't do that because if we show that, we'll get a copyright strike. We already got one once a few months ago, so we can't do that anymore. So that's why we do it as a watch party, so that we can watch it together with you guys. That's what we do all of our shows that we do this with. Fortunately, we can't show the screen because
Oh, Bruce has a great idea. Bruce says, no, keep the sound up, ... I mute mine and match it with yours.
Tech, translate what he said. He says he does not want our war on his planet. That is why he took our leader.
We didn't bring the war here. It was Wat Tambor and the Separatists.
Tell him we apologize for what's happened. But tell him the enemy is holding one of our men prisoner in Prokol. As soon as we rescue him, we'll leave his planet. For good.
that's cool.
The chief says he will provide us with scouts and lead us to Tambor City. From there, we're on our own.
Any help is better than no help.
That's awesome, Bruce.
We are receiving a transmission from
Darth says I mute my sound as well, works better that way.
I'll turn this up then.
Pardon the intrusion, Minister Tambor. But I have disturbing news. You may proceed, Admiral.
He says I have to make a few changes though, but it's cool.
Clones has traced the algorithm signal to Skako. That legal operation there is in jeopardy. The Republic would not dare attack us. The Techno-Union has corporate neutrality. From what I have seen, that would not matter to these Republic operatives. Then we shall be ready for them.
I've always liked the design in the prequels.
Hope nobody's scared of heights.
Planetary designs and stuff,
Bruce was just typing, he said I love his graphics.
I just,
right?
when I'm up real high, I got a problem with gravity.
Speaking of problems, I'm no longer picking up Echo's signal. I don't understand. You said it was coming from this city. I can only speculate, but it is possible there's a latency issue with the frequency caused by all these atmospheric disturbances. Or maybe they sent the signal to lure us into a trap, and maybe your friend's actually dead. Well, I can't be the only one thinking of that. Look, every mission could be a trap. This one is no different. I'm telling you, that signal is being sent by Echo himself. He's alive.
Bruce says I used to do animation way back in the day, but not like this.
Get in the way.
Mark says
Because you
Akbar.
left him
It's a
for
trap.
dead at the Citadel. I had no choice. You hear me?
Come on, Mark.
I don't blame you. I would have left him for dead too. Besides, he's just another reg. Why don't you pick on someone not your size? You'll be a whole lot smaller when I'm through with you.
That's
Go
enough.
Rex. I like Rex so much more now having watched him on
Take your men and
Rebels.
scout the area for a tower entrance. I want to talk to my captain alone.
Bruce says he's no good to be dead.
Nice one.
Rex, I hate to say it, but you have to prepare yourself for the possibility that Echo is dead. And this is all a separatist trick.
Sir, I've watched so many of my brothers fall during this war, and I try not to hang on to any one of them. But that changed when I heard that separatist transmission. It was no algorithm. That was Echo's voice. I know it.
I hope you're right. But
Because all their voices are different.
Then I'll deal with it. We're in business, General. Tech regained Echo's signal. It's coming from this tower. How's it going, Tech?
Darth said, I never knew Rex was in ROTJ until a couple months ago.
It's cool how they put Rex in there. Well, how they retroed that.
Check it out. Yeah, it's a lift. Well, we already knew that.
Bruce just says I just drank paint water because I'm so engrossed in this.
Up we going. Don't worry, Rekka.
Calm down, Bruce.
Hey, cut it out, Sarge. Just give me some droids to crush.
Reminds me of Tommy Boy. Did you eat paint chips as a kid?
this
Why?
is a
Why?
stealth mission. No blasting, no blowing things up. Nobody knows we're here.
Roger, Roger.
What the heck are those?
He says I only need to use a different
So
cup.
much for stealth.
Even more useless battle droids than the normal ones?
Darth said the Friday night crowd is definitely a special one. Bruce said no, but the windows tasted like snozberries.
Hey now.
Mark said these are the Costco Kirkland brand droids.
Sorry. I just got excited.
Is that like the Kirkland Meeseeks?
I've still got the lock on Echo's signal.
Nice.
That's awesome.
All right, Ben. Let's hunt some
That-
droids.
Those are like the weirdest looking things ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, now watch that.
How do you even hit them? They're so skinny.
Where exactly is Echo signal coming from?
Strange. I just lost the signal. What? How can that be? There's no atmospheric disturbances up here. Well, I have a new theory. I'm surprised I did not consider it earlier. The signal is only traceable during data transmissions. So until Echo dispenses more intel, I cannot pick up the signal.
Okay. We're
Bruce
splitting
says
up.
they are so skinny.
Search
Give them a
every
sandwich or
door.
something.
If someone finds Echo, contact the others. We go in together, just in case there's trouble.
Did you catch that little sound that sounded like Darth Vader?
Dog Stacy's and droids are keto.
Droids are what?
Keto.
It appears the signal is back. It's from up ahead.
Bruce says dark or anorexic.
Darth anorexic.
There.
They're literally a foot away from him and cannot hit him.
They train with the stormtroopers.
I think they train the later stormtroopers.
What temple? Your algorithm predicted nearly every move you made to infiltrate her home.
There is no algorithm. We know you're holding a prisoner of war here.
Prisoner? I don't know what you mean, Captain.
I am leaving here with my friend.
Your friend is dead. His mind is ours.
Liar.
Execute them.
Bruce says, okay, I'm liking this much better than last week. Darth agreed. Bruce says stormtroopers are all cross-eyed.
Yeah, this is a much better episode than last week. Nice. Huh. Nobody even got hit. Like, where are they shooting at? Like, the good guys aren't even looking. The good guys aren't even looking. They're getting shot at, and they're just like,
Bruce says, I've got your algorithm right here, lol. Darth said they should have condensed last week's episode into 5 minutes and just added into this one.
right?
Mark says it's improved for sure. Can't wait until we get further into the season and see how things progress. And Bruce says yes, they did. They hit the wall. They hit the wall. Then they hit the
I
floor.
don't like the look of this.
That's,
I'm definitely picking up a life form in there.
that one should be the Poindexter Lounge clone trooper. Because he looks like a nerd.
Ooh, is that Echo?
Echo. Tech. We're going to get him out of here. Figure out how to unplug him from this mess.
Not the last one.
What have they done to you? We have to get to the shuttle. To escape the
Who's that, the Mark?
No.
No, Bruce said nerd trooper.
Echo. It's Rex. I'm here.
Good one, Mark.
Rex. You came back for me. Yes. Yes, I did. What happened? Where am I? It's okay, Echo. You're safe now. Just sit tight, Trooper.
Are they going to find out that they can't take him out of it? Because see, that's what I would think is they can't unplug him or something.
Yeah. Next week in the Hall of Justice.
Nice. All right. Well, there we go.
Bruce said Photoshop some glasses with tape in the middle and a plastic pocket protector, and there you go. Hey, I told you for the longest time that I wanted the logo for the Poindexter Lounge to be glasses with the tape in the middle.
Yep. We had one for a little while.
Bruce says, dang, it's already over?
I know, that was quick.
I liked that one.
Last week seemed to just drag on. But this one was over just like that. But
You has popcorn in your beard.
I got popcorn. I got popcorn beard. There's only one cure for popcorn beard. It's a wife pluck.
Okay, well.
Wife pluck.
Oh.
Um,
Darth said same as Mandalorian 2, short. Darth says so much better than this week.
Yeah.
Better this week.
This week was a lot better than last week's. But I'm curious because like there's only 10 more episodes left. So
Bruce says I almost didn't watch tonight. I'm glad I did. And Mark says he's saving that popcorn for a midnight snack.
just a little bit later, I'm laying in bed, be like, that popcorn earlier was so good. Well, don't mind if I do. No, I'm really glad that that this week stepped up. I do want to know because like there's only 12 episodes for the entire season. So like, are they gonna have are they just gonna have these like one little? I hope that we don't just get these little side off things that are just like one or two episodes that I really hope that like we have a story
like how Rebels did,
because they really like I know we got Echo here, but like we really don't have like a story set up so far for the entire season, like where it's like usually the first episode will set up what that season's going to be. And I know that
Bruce
Clone
says
Wars
happy fat guy right here.
I know that usually Clone Wars is kind of these just one-off episodes, and you just kind of get these little stories or two, to connect, and that's it.
But if 12, they should.
But if you're going to bring it back, I would think that you would do something
little more, connect the dots.
Yeah, little more storytelling. That way, and not just a bunch of random little stories in a season. But
Mark says, I heard this first 4 story arc was made originally a while ago, and after these 4, you'll get into the meat of season 7. Bruce says, yeah, but Clone Wars has always jumped around.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. It has. So, I mean...
But we got Obi-Wan, and we got Rex, and we got Anakin. They should have had this as the first episode.
This would have been a good first episode. That you really... I don't know, I can't remember who said it, but you could have done basically what happened in episode 1.
In 5 minutes.
In about 5 minutes, kind of set up the premise, and then they go and they try to save Echo. Because this one was good. I really enjoyed this.
There's just a lot of comments from earlier, like telling the droids to get a sandwich.
Droid sandwich. Those were weird looking. They looked like insects, kind of.
Well, they looked like those Roger kind of looking things were put together with like the Portal droids from the video game Portal.
Yeah, but skinnier. Like they didn't have like the bigger bodies. They could, but they had the 4 limbs and yeah. I can see it.
Bruce said, agreed, Tiff. Haha.
Haha.
Mark says, I guess they wanted to introduce the Bad Batch and get the audience to be more familiar with them so you felt more emotionally invested or something.
I like the Bad Batch.
Seems legit.
I like them. I think it's cool that, that we got them.
That the guy had a turkey leg and he's like bench pressing like a garbage can droid in the other hand.
That was funny. Man, there's a lot of good stuff in this episode. The action, the pace was so much better than last week. Last week just seemed to be really slow, a lot of just dialogue, and I'm fine with dialogue because I like story. I like the story moving along.
We found a nerd droid or a nerd trooper.
No, we got a nerd trooper now.
Reminds me of like Egon from.
That's what he reminds me of too. He reminds me like of an Egon type of character. That's why I dig that. Or like your Donatello. Mm-hmm. From Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
The nerdy.
Yeah, so
we may have found a mascot. Mark says he's Data from the Goonies.
Little known fact: I watched Goonies for the first time. 5 years ago?
4 or 5, yeah.
My whole life, I had gone without watching the Goonies all the way through.
Darth Tasty said, so we have Rambo and Egon?
Yeah, Rambo and Egon. Who are the other two? Who's the big guy?
I thought that was Rambo.
No, Rambo's the smaller guy with the bandana.
Oh, that looks like Braveheart with the face.
Mm-hmm. You got Egon. So who's the big guy?
All I can think of is Mongo from Blazing Saddles.
It's the Hulkster, brother.
Bruce said, really? No Goonies?
Yeah, I don't know why. I had never watched
Caleb
it as a
says
kid.
Hulk. Darth Tasty said Chunk.
Ch-
Bruce Jennings says, I don't think we can be friends.
We can now because I've seen it. It was just one of those movies that like I never saw when I was a kid.
He also
I didn't have friends who liked Goonies, so
he liked the movie like Scrooged and all these things growing up and didn't realize until a couple years ago who Bill Murray's brother was.
I didn't realize that was Bill Murray's brother all these years.
Christmas Vacation, like all those movies, you're like, that's Bill Murray's brother.
All I can see is Bill Murray's brother now. That's all. That's all I can see.
But you didn't know until like your 40s.
I didn't realize that was Bill Murray's brother. What's his name? His name's something else. Murray.
Brother Murray.
Murray, where out?
I had a long day. My brain, like, I had to nap when I got home today because there was only one swear word that could like encapsulate my day. My day today. That's how my day.
Yeah, I just never watched Goonies because, like, none of my friends ever saw it. Well, my friends saw it, but I just like.
Bruce says it's freaking Goonies. You have to watch it.
Well, that's what I did because I wanted the boys to see it.
The giant from Princess Bride, a little childish but wise.
I wanted the boys to see it, so I.
Mark says, "What else haven't you watched that we need to poke fun at you for?"
I finally saw Top Gun a couple years ago.
I thought you watched that after you had your surgery and you were like stuck home.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago. I'm trying to think what else I haven't seen. I finally saw.
Well, I haven't seen like Up or Tangled or anything like that.
Finally saw Fight Club last year.
Oh yeah.
For the first time. I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's any like other real big films like that I haven't seen. Can't think of anything else right now.
Speaking of big, I forgot I still have 2 gifts for my mom for my birthday that I forgot to open because I was in Disney.
Well, look at there. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Caleb says, I haven't seen The Terminator, Alien, Predator, Rambo, RoboCop, etc.
I've never seen Rambo. Never had a desire to watch Rambo.
Bruce said fake nerd, lol.
For Rambo? I wouldn't think Rambo's like a nerd movie.
No, fake that.
Oh.
He said fake nerd before Caleb mentioned all the movies he hadn't seen. Bruce says, I just watched the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. They were overshadowed by Star Wars at the time.
Yeah? So you didn't watch them before, Bruce? It's your first times watching those movies?
Bruce says Rambo is overrated. And he's probably answering now to what you're saying.
Yeah, Superman was my jam. Star Wars was my jam.
It still is. It's the one that you can quote no matter what it is on the TV.
Yeah, Star Wars was my jam. Superman was my jam. Actually, I like Superman 2 better than Superman the movie. And just because it was my favorite movie, I loved
Bruce
General Zod.
Says, of course I did.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say it. But no, the way she read that, I thought maybe.
Well, no, what it says is I just watched the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. They were overshadowed by Star Wars at the time. That's how it was worded.
Okay. So it's your fault, Bruce. But no, that was my jam back then because like I loved General Zod. I loved that confrontation. And I'm sorry, I know that there's this big.
Caleb said Rambo Last Blood was super controversial apparently, and Bruce said Superman 3 was not very good.
So
fact.
Now hold on. So here's the thing. There's this big thing with Superman 2 because Richard Donner got fired from making Superman 2 because he filmed Superman 1 and 2 back to back, right? Because they were going to do like 10 movies. They had a plan for doing like all these, like, you know, just doing a big serial of movies.
Bruce says that's it. I'm telling my mom.
But here's the thing. So they filmed Superman 1 and 2 back to back. The original ending to Superman 1 was the ending to Superman 2.
Darth said 3 is better than 4. Though.
I'm sorry. Which one was it? No, okay. The ending to Superman 1 that actually got in there where he spins the world back around and everything.
To try
to undo everything was actually going to be the ending to Superman 2.
Oh, okay.
But they had it done, and they didn't have enough money to get both movies made, and enough time to get both movies made for the first one to premiere. So they stopped working on part 2.
Mark says, so this is Planet Houston?
Yes. Oh, it's great stuff right there. So they stopped working on Superman 2, finished Superman 1, and then went back to work on Superman 2. Well, when they did, Richard Donner had issues. He had a falling out with Eli and Alexander Salkind, who were the producers. And so they fired him, and they hired Richard Lester, who had done more comedies and stuff like that. Now, for years, there was talk of, wouldn't it be great if Richard Donner was able to go back and finish his version of Superman 2? And then a few years ago, what they did was, I guess it was like one of his producers. It wasn't Richard Donner himself, but one of the producers was able to get some of the test footage. Now that's how crazy this is. It's really meta. But they got some of the test footage, like even some of the casting footage between Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder. So it's not actually the movie. It's just like they do this whole scene that was from that was not shot for the movie, but was part of their casting scene from Niagara Falls. So they're in their scene at Niagara Falls, but where it would have been in the script, it automatically goes to this other thing.
I've been to that area.
And it's a totally different place, different room. It's supposed to be the same room, but obviously it's not in the movie, and they didn't actually shoot it for the movie. So it's this whole scene where she shoots him instead of him falling into the fire or whatever or something. Like
my favorite scene from that movie.
That's how she finds out that he's Superman in the Richard Donner version, is she shoots him, which I really don't like, because it means that Lois Lane was willing to commit murder to prove that, and kill Clark Kent to prove that Clark Kent was Superman. I don't like that. And I know it's controversial now because it's weird, and it's weird to me.
Caleb said Superman 1 and 2 director's cuts have the same ending.
Yes. But see, what's weird about that to me is there's all these people now who say that the Richard Donner version of Superman 2 is better than Superman 2, the original one, which was half Donner, half Richard Lester. And I understand that. I think it really comes from a place of loyalty to Richard Donner. I mean, Richard Donner gave us Superman the movie. He did a phenomenal job, and I respect him for that. But honestly, I like the theatrical, the regular version of Superman 2 so much better. It has the moments where, like, he falls into the fire and his hand goes into the fire, and she's like, "Oh, are you okay?" And he's like, "No."
Yeah, and then you can see him just be like,
and he's just like, I love that moment. He's just like that, and he gets mad because it's like, well, why'd you do that?
But you could see him go from that, like, timid, to, like...
it's one of the best scenes.
Change.
That right there is one of the best scenes of the Niagara Falls scene, when he admits to her that he is Superman. Because he goes from being slouched over and stuff. He doesn't have the glasses on. And then he stands straight up. And, he had the glasses on, but he stands straight up and takes the glasses off. And he folds them. And it's like you see the presence that Christopher Reeve had. And... It's become like very unpopular. I'm part of some Superman groups even, and it's become very unpopular to say that you like the original theatrical, or not even, because I think that it's been cut up, because it was Superman 2 was also cut up for TV, and there was extra scenes added for that even. Yeah. But I love Superman 2, and Superman 3, I'll be honest with you, I actually like Superman 3. Superman 3, even as funny as it is, and though it's got Richard Pryor and it's weird and it's wonky or whatever, Superman 3 has the best flying scenes out of the entire series. Like, they actually spent money on that movie, and the landing scenes and the takeoff scenes are amazing. And Superman 4 we just don't like to talk about. But Superman 4 even has its moments that are really good, and I really like Superman 4 too. But unfortunately, Superman 4, half of its budget went to make Masters of the Universe, because Canon Films took it over, and when Canon Films took it over, they low budgeted that movie like crazy, and that's why you have like the green looking Superman suit where it looks like he's flat, because they just have a flat projection of Christopher Reeve flying towards the screen. It looks absolutely horrible. But there's a director's cut somewhere of Superman 4. This is something not everybody knows. There's a director's cut of Superman 4 that is somewhere out there that actually has 2 nuclear men in it. It has a first one that's like a crazy looking guy who got cut from the movie, where they fight in downtown Metropolis, very much like Superman 2. And apparently that is like amazing from what people have talked about. There's pictures of it. You can find them on the internet. There's pictures of it. People have made videos about it here on YouTube. There's all kinds of stuff about it, but we've never ever seen it. And then the second nuclear man comes and takes Superman out. But yeah, it's interesting. Those movies, even the not so good ones, have a special place
Mark
in my
says,
heart.
strange how 2 movies with Superman get a director change halfway through Superman 2 than Justice League.
Yeah.
Bruce said, sorry
Yeah.
to be a jerk, but Junkman is doing a live stream right now. It's kind of sad. Mark says, I love that scene talking about
Sorry to be a
the way
jerk.
that
He's kind of sad. What?
Junkman?
Yeah, Junkman's a good guy.
But he said he's doing a live stream right now and it's kind of sad.
Oh, it's kind of
That's
sad.
why he says, sorry to be a jerk.
Why is it sad?
Well, let me finish.
Okay.
You were talking and there's like 20 different comments.
Sorry.
Mark was saying, I love that scene talking about the one where his hand was in the fire and he changed.
Yes.
Caleb says, I love theatrical cut of Superman 2, but I love the 3-hour TV edit of Superman 1.
There's like 5 different cuts of Superman 1 now.
Mark says, great physical acting talking about Christopher Reeve.
Mm-hmm.
Mark says, I liked 3 too. I watched it in the theater 5 times in a row. For some reason, I was a kid.
The scene where he splits off and fights himself
Yeah.
was phenomenal. And you know, the thing is there's all kinds of stuff in Superman 3 that you can see where they were trying to go. It was trying to be about Brainiac, you know, with the supercomputer and everything, but they didn't call it Brainiac for some reason. It would have been so much better if they would have just used that as the character, but they didn't. And then when he splits up, some of the best stuff. I mean, obviously that meme has been around for the last few years of Superman sitting at the bar, you know. But that I love Richard Pryor when he can't find the secret ingredient in kryptonite, and he looks at his pack of cigarettes and it says tar, and he goes, I don't know. He types it in tar and he goes, heck, smoke it if we have to. I just picture him like smoking up a bowl of fake kryptonite, you know. But I can quote that movie. I can quote all 4 of those movies. I mean, just as much as I can Star Wars. You know, the scenes where Richard Pryor goes into town dressed in the cowboy stuff and he has the thing, he goes to see Brad, and it's full of alcohol, and they get
That's how I am
drunk.
with Mel Brooks movies.
And they get drunk. I mean, that is awesome. That's a funny scene because then he has to put the 2 key codes in, and they're far apart, and they got to go in at the same time. He's like, at the same time, and he rigs up Brad to do it at the same time with a rope with his yo-yo that he had, and Superman goes after that blonde, and then I just love the stupid stuff in that movie. I'm sorry, I just love that movie because Superman like does the stupid stuff like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. When he's bad Superman, he goes and makes it straight, and so the little guy who sells clay versions of the Leaning Tower of Pisa like gets all mad at him, and Superman's going away. He's from Italy, and he's like, "Ah, it's Superman!" And Superman comes back after he turns good again, and like, cause he's got to undo what happened. Superman comes back and makes it crooked again, and by this time the guy has made new statues that are straight, and he just looks at Superman flying off like, you jerk, and he takes a broom and hits the stand and starts breaking them all because he's just like, he can't win. That's a great movie. It's funny. I love it. That's a funny movie, and it's Superman. You know, it's good. Plus Annette O'Toole as Lana Lang.
Bruce says, all I'm saying is number 3 needed Lex Luthor.
Yeah, that should have been Lex
Luthor. Would have
Luthor.
helped. Caleb says, as bad as Superman 4 was, Superman addressing the UN is my favorite speech of all time.
That's great. Yes, I agree.
Mark said Superman 4 or Supergirl movie. Darth Tasty says,
Who said about Supergirl movie?
Mark,
yeah, I'm with. So
There's still
Supergirl.
a lot more to go.
Okay, sorry.
You keep
Supergirl.
talking.
Well, we're talking about stuff. It's all right. Supergirl is a hard watch. I like Supergirl in theory. I love Helen Slater. She looks great as Supergirl. I mean, that costume is straight out of the comics. It looks phenomenal. But the movie is really slow. It's really hard to watch. But I own it, and I love it.
Darth said, I don't think I've seen 4 since the 80s.
Oh, dude.
Mark says,
Let's do a watch party of all the Superman
Mark
movies.
says, which is better? Meaning Superman or 4 or Supergirl. You already answered that.
I would say
says,
Superman 4 is better than Supergirl.
Bruce says, did anyone
As a
else
movie.
get annoyed with the opening credits on Superman 1, 2, and 3? Bruce said...
The opening credits?
Yep.
In 1, 2, and 3?
Yep.
No, Bruce, Superman 3 opens up a little different because there's like there's a series of events that happen that like all these weird things happen, these like accidents that all lead from one thing to the next. I always thought that was actually kind of cool because it showed like all these like one thing after another happens and it all, corresponds then to Superman having to fly out and save the guy in his car who runs over the fire hydrant and his car starts filling up with water and he kind of rips
Bruce
the top
says the
off.
opening credits took way too long.
It was a long opening credit scene, but I thought it paid off in the end because Christopher Reeve looked great when he flies across the street on there when he comes out of the photo booth. I think that's a great scene too because he's in the photo booth and the little kid puts the money in and it takes pictures of him by accident turning from Clark Kent into Superman, and he goes back and he looks at the pictures and he sees the ones that have been changing until the last one where it's just him as Superman. He rips it off and gives that one to the little girl and then like takes off because the wire work on that movie was phenomenal, and he takes off, flies over, lands on top of the car. Christopher Reeve looked great. The costume was great in that one. The costume in the first three were really, really good. Was really, really good. The fourth one was a little bit iffy. The colors were weird and stuff. I've seen that costume in person actually at a traveling thing, and that costume just looks a little off. But I love how he landed up there. His physique was amazing. All that stuff was great. What about the scene where he sneezes after knocking over the ashtray and like the bowling ball shatters all of the all of the pins at the bowling alley? Like nobody would know he's Superman after that.
Bruce said, Junkman is a good guy. I'm just saying he's not very interesting. Mark says the reference to that splitting apart and fighting himself in Crisis was awesome.
Yes.
Bruce says when he splits, it's the best scene in the movie. I'll give you that. Mark says time to go. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks for joining us tonight, man.
I think he's already been gone since then. Caleb says people don't think Richard Pryor was funny in that movie, but he was hilarious.
I think so, too. I think Richard Pryor did a really good job in that movie.
Darth said Richard Pryor says an awesome actor and comedian. Bruce says the Leaning Tower thing was great. I love when he fell off the building with skis.
That's one of those, that's one of those, like, that could be, like, the stupidest thing ever. Like, that nobody would survive that. But the way that they play it off is phenomenal. And Superman with the best comeback after, because when he's bad, he ends up sleeping with the blonde girl. And, in there. And then when he turns good again, he sees him and she goes, "Hi, sweetie." And he's like, "I don't know you, miss." It's like, oh, ouch.
Caleb says, would said watch party include Superman Returns? That's my favorite Superman movie after Superman 1.
Who said that?
Caleb.
Superman Returns is your favorite Superman movie?
You had this talk with him after we met
that's right.
Brandon.
That's right.
We
could do that. I
into
don't have a problem with that. You know what? Superman Returns has become to me just it doesn't have to be my favorite Superman movie, but I love.
You don't mind it now after meeting him.
I don't mind it as much after meeting him now and hearing his take on Superman. It's not my favorite Superman movie, but I appreciate it a whole lot more now. I think that it had issues. I think that it has timing issues. I think that Brandon Routh doesn't talk enough.
But he also rectified all that by doing what he did in Crisis. So
yeah. I mean that's phenomenal. So I think that he should have had more lines, but that's not his fault. I think he could have done a whole lot more. And I'm not big on the costume, but.
Bruce was saying the opening credits took way too long, and then after that he says, I was like, show me the movie.
The movie's done. They're like, movie's done, Bruce. There's the credits. Credits are done.
Bruce
Superman, that'd be funny, just the credits, and then Superman flies out into space, winks, and it's done. And he actually looks at you and goes, bye, Bruce.
I'm going to read a couple of them, because if you go, then there's going to be a lot more again.
Okay.
So I'll come back to that question in just a second. Caleb says the kid he gave the photo to was a little boy, and that little boy was in fact the child actor who played baby Kal-El in Superman 1. Darth Tasty says, what about the Nick Cage Tim Burton costume? LOL. Bruce says, sneezing a little too much. Bruce says, best line in the first movie, bad vibrations. Caleb
Yes.
says it's my second favorite after Superman 1. I loved how the whole movie was just a love letter to Christopher Reeve's Superman, talking about Superman Returns.
Oh, yeah.
But Bruce's question says, here's a good question, do you believe in the Superman curse?
The Superman curse. Man, I think I'm going to have to turn this video into its own Superman-related
Which
thing.
is funny because it's a
Because it's Clone Wars. So I'll have to download this and separate it out because I think this is a great discussion. The Superman curse is an interesting thing. I think for a while there, I don't believe in the, a curse as it is. I think it is very interesting that people who played Superman have suffered the way that they have. But I look at Dean Cain. If you take away the fact that people all of a sudden don't like his political leanings, Dean Cain. I know a lot of people who've said that Dean Cain is a jerk. Dean Cain was one of the nicest people.
We also assumed he was going to be when we met him, and then when we met him, we were like, whoa.
Yeah, when I met
Super
Dean Cain,
cool.
I thought that he was going to be just like,
Because it's because of who he plays on TV and stuff. We just assumed.
And that's how I thought. But you know what? When we met Dean was one of the most cordial, sweetest people. When we met him at Comic-Con, and they had a sign up that said that you could only have 3 people in your picture with him. And it was like, what, $40, $45? $45 to get a picture with him. And so I was excited because he was a Superman. He was the first Superman that I ever met, was Dean Cain. And so I was super excited. No pun intended. Or pun intended, maybe. I was super excited. And so we wait and stuff. And while we're waiting there, the boys, they didn't watch that show. That's like our next show. Once we finish Smallville with the boys, we're going to go back and watch that with them. But they had never watched the show, so they didn't have any connection to Dean Cain. And the boys looked at
the dad on Supergirl at the time when we met him too.
Yeah. So he turns around to me, or well, the boys turn around to me and said, Dad, Tiff, it's okay. You guys just get a picture with him. We don't have to get it, because the lady said that if we wanted to get a picture with the whole family, that we'd have to pay $90. So pay the $45 twice. And I was like, I'm not paying $90 for a selfie picture with Dean Cain. I wouldn't do that anyway. So we said okay, and the boys said, that's all right, guys. You just get the picture taken. He was the Superman you guys watched. So we said okay. So we got up there, we started talking. It was right before Batman vs. Superman came out. So Logan was wearing a Batman jersey. He starts joking with Logan right off the bat about Batman v Superman, about how they got to fight.
Yeah.
And then he finds out that Landon's middle name is Jor-El, and he loved that. And he's like, you're my dad, and I got to fight you. And then, and then he asked what Isaac's name was and stuff. And when it was just Isaac, he was just like, well, I don't know. You're just cool. You can be you can be my buddy. And then he just talked to the boys.
Together.
They had his complete attention. I thought it was so cool. And so that was a great experience for them, because that was the first time they'd ever even known anything about Dean Cain. They'd seen pictures of him and stuff, but that was it. And so then
had we seen him in Smallville at that point?
Oh yeah, that was long after. No, because we hadn't even started watching Smallville. That was long before. That was 2 years.
Oh, that's right, because they were young.
Like a year before
we
met him.
there.
Yeah. So he started talking to me. I told him my love for the character of Superman, how much it meant to me, and all those things, and how Superman to me was like kind of like a father figure growing up, because I didn't have my dad growing up, and so I gravitated towards Superman because the Christopher Reeve portrayal of Superman, and just Superman in general, always seemed to me to be what a man should be. Not that he had superpowers. It wasn't that he could fly. It wasn't all those things. I mean, obviously I was a kid and I loved all those things, aspects of it. But really it was just that he always did the right thing, and he always cared for the people that he loved. And that's how I always kind of looked at what a man should be. And that's why the character of Superman is so important to me. Because I didn't have my dad. And so anyways, I told him that. He loved that. And that just really meant a lot to him, And so he comes out and he goes, okay, so are we taking a picture, guys? And we said, yeah. And so Tiffany and I went back behind the thing to take our picture with him. And he actually stopped. And he says, well, wait a second. Isn't everybody going to get in the picture? Because now he had talked to the boys. He had connected with the boys, and he connected with us. And he goes, well, hey, isn't everybody going to get in the picture? And I said, well, we'd love to, but the lady said that we couldn't, and said she was going to charge us double for the whole family because only 3 people could be in the picture. Dean Cain said, hold on just 1 second. He left us. He went over to that lady and he said, don't you ever do that again. Don't you ever do that again. When families come up and things like this, you let them take their picture. As many of them as needed. And
it was almost like out of spite for her.
Yeah, and he came back over and we
got like 20 pictures.
We got tons of pictures. He did poses. You know, I've got a Superman tattoo here on my arm, just like he had in the promo photos, you know, for Lois and Clark. And so he had me lift my arm and, you know, do the pose and stuff, and he was doing the pose. And he did funny pictures with us. Like, it wasn't even just like a normal,
you and him were glaring at each other.
Like, just a snare, you know, take a picture. Like, he was doing funny shots with us and serious shots and all kinds of different poses. And I just gotta say that's just...
So far, every Superman we've met has been cool like that, because we got to talk and joke with Tom Welling. We got to sit and talk and get a video from
Brandon Routh. Brandon Routh was awesome too.
Superman have been pretty cool. I don't want to open a can of worms with that one. Darth Tasty said, "What about the Nick Cage Tim Burton costume?" LOL.
Boy.
No.
I'm kind of glad that I'll just say that I'm glad that we did not get that.
Bruce says George Reeves, Christopher Reeve, Dean Cain, hemorrhoids.
But let me finish my thing. So Dean Cain has been fine. Dean Cain. Did we say hemorrhoids? That's funny. You know, Henry Cavill, knock on wood, seems to be doing okay. You know, Nick Cage is still Nick Cage.
Why is he not in that movie?
Why am I not in that movie? I gotta save the Declaration of Independence. They're making another one of those, by the way.
Bruce says my dog is named Buster from Superman 3.
Nice. Very nice. The pate scene. Where he gets...
Alan
that is like so Christopher Reeve right there. That is so awesome. Because he sits there and he's like, pate. And he's like eating, and Annette O'Toole plays a Lana Lang that is like unlike any other Lana Lang. She's just kind of ditzy, and but like she's focused when she needs to be focused. But then like she's doing so many things that her mind's in another place, and she's talking all serious, and she goes, she's looking the other way. She's like, pate. She's like, I didn't make any pate. She looks, oh Clark, it's the dog food, and he's like, oh no, and he eats it anyway. Oh, it's great.
Alan just said, hey, he showed up.
What's up, Alan? We were supposed to be talking about Star Wars here, but we got on this whole Superman thing. It's pretty awesome.
Bruce said Superman had true morals that is lacking in today's society.
For sure.
Alan said, nice one to what you were joking about. And then Bruce Jennings said, dog food?
Dog food, yes. That was great. That was a great scene. There were so many memorable scenes in Superman 3, to be honest with you. But, you know, there's so many
Alan says, how you both doing?
We're doing good. How you doing, Alan? How you doing? Like Superman 2.
Bruce said I would have eaten it too, just to keep my pride.
In the director's cut of Superman 2, the Richard Donner version of Superman 2, they take away the best line out of the whole stinking movie. The where Superman had lost his powers and he comes back, and in that great scene where he's hanging out outside the window and he talks to General Zod. In the regular movie, it's a callback to the guy who he met in the diner who beats him up as Clark Kent and everything, because he says, I think, you know, would you care to step outside? And Clark can't defend himself anymore because Clark doesn't have his powers and he's not used to having to deal with that. And the guy, you know, like wipes the mat with him, right? And Superman flies up, stands right there, puts his hands like this, folds his arms, says, General, would you care to step outside? That's the best line of that movie. And then, like, I can't even remember. I just saw it the other day. It was on something where in the Richard Donner version, like, he flies up and says something like, I can't even remember what he said. He says something silly, and it just doesn't sound right. It's just like, it's got to be, General, would you care to step outside? That's the best line. It's just so awesome. Oh, Christopher Reeve was the man.
Caleb said, I love how Christopher Reeve Clark is genuinely goofy. People say it's an act, but I always say that Superman is a big nerd / geek at heart.
Yeah, I mean, but in those movies, it is that
Philip says, "Come to my window."
it is that he's playing a character. Clark in those movies, Superman is the main person. You know, Clark is the facade. Clark is the screen, as it were. You know, so that he can be in the world, and so he's acting goofy and he's being clumsy and all things. But the great thing is that he does it in a way that you would never expect that he's Superman.
Bruce says you're in my favorite seat.
Oh yeah.
And then Alan says, "How is Michigan doing? Snow, no doubt."
Why don't you come and get
I
it?
said 20 degrees with 20-mile-an-hour winds today, bitterly cold. And Bruce says really cold here in PA. It was so bad today that I sold a computer chair. All I had to do was take it out of my car. The person that I sold it to had a truck with like a hard top instead of a tonneau cover. So we were trying to get it to work, and I thought, it's just going to take me a second to help them put it in their car. I don't need my gloves on. My fingers, it was so bitterly cold. My fingers were like, not just the numb, it was like the burning, like cold kind of thing because the wind was so bad. It's like one bad word can explain the cold weather.
Man.
And people understand what you're talking about.
Yeah. But man, so much good stuff from Christopher Reeve back in the day. He really personified that character for that time, you know. I'm not one of these people who act like nobody can ever play Superman again, because as much as Christopher Reeve was my childhood, and he's the one Superman action figure that I have that I will not take out of the box, because it's just a special figure. I love the packaging for the NECA Christopher Reeve Superman, because it's like the ice crystals and stuff. He just did a phenomenal job.
Bruce says alter ego. My alter ego is a sane retail person. Alan says, at TIFF last few weekends had stormy weather here in the UK. Some parts stayed flooded. Lucky it's not flooded in my town.
Oh my goodness. I'm glad you're okay, Alan.
Darth says it's been warm on this side of the state, Bruce. We skipped winter.
Wow.
Bruce says there's a thing called gloves. You should buy some. I had them. They were in my car.
Bruce is all like, boom.
I had
Tiff.
the gloves in my car. I just didn't think I was going to be as long as I was going to. And Alan says Christopher Reeve's pure legend.
I'm sorry. I love you, Bruce.
Even if I didn't have the gloves, it was like, the wind burned your face today. It was that cold.
You trying to deflect now? You're like, but no, it was cold enough. My face was burning too.
No, everything hurt.
It's called a ski mask, Tiff.
No, I've talked to you before about this. I have Renaud, so I ended up having to wear like 3 layers.
She
of
has
socks.
a condition, folks.
Shut up.
I'm sorry. It's just funny.
Don't even.
Here, are your hands cold?
Alan said Christopher
Let me
Reeve's
hold
pure
your hand. I keep it
legend.
warm. What?
Alan said Christopher Reeve was a pure legend.
He was. I think he did isotoner commercials too. Remember isotoner? Remember those? Isotoner? Now, what product was that? What were isotoners?
Shut your face.
Oh, that's right. They were gloves. That was a good one. That one brought a smile to my face. That was awesome, man. That was really funny. Oh, that was a good one. You know, if it was the other way around, you'd be saying the same thing to me. No, it was cold though today. It was mighty cold. I found my hair going all over the place. You know, my hair's been growing out a little bit, and since it's curly, it gets in the wind and it's just flying all over the place. And because it was windy today too, the winds were going west to east. I knew that because every time I was on like looking east, my hair was just going.
Bruce says I could be Superman, but unfortunately I'm stuck with either the Hulk or Batman because my name is Bruce. Bruce says, actually, I'm going to buy a Batman costume and put it in the back of my closet. Then in a few years, when I start getting senile, I'll find the costume and think I have to protect Gotham City.
Yeah, I like that one, and I like the one that says name your first child Gotham.
So that when your husband has to get up in the middle of the night, you can reach over and be like, Gotham needs you.
Gotham needs you. I like that one. Do you... Here's an interesting thing for you, Bruce. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but you know how the show The Incredible Hulk was with Bill Bixby, right? And Lou Ferrigno. You know they changed Hulk's name to David Banner. Do you know why they changed the Hulk's name to David Banner? I'll give you a minute. Put your answers in now. I'm probably gonna get copyright claimed for doing the stupid.
Alan
Jeopardy.
says I can't help but add Bog Trotter to your name, Bruce, from Matilda. LOL. Bruce says, Tiff, I will buy some gloves for you for putting up with me. They will be Steeler gloves, though. And then Bruce says, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Anybody have the answer
Bruce
to why?
says, no, I don't know why they changed the name.
Okay. So.
Dorothy says, Steelers gloves, Bruce? Steagles? Unless he meant to put Steelers. Steagles?
Probably Steelers, yeah. Unless it's a hybrid of the Steelers and the Eagles. Oh, that would be what it, because they're both in Pennsylvania.
Steagles?
Pittsburgh and Philadelphia.
Steelers.
So, Steagles. I get it. No, so this is actually what happened.
You
and
like
this,
the ones where you put them together and it makes something?
there you go. Right? That's what you could do. You could get those kind of gloves. What's his
AJ
name?
Styles.
AJ Styles from WWE. You know, he puts his hand out there
makes
like
a,
that, and like when you put the gloves together, it makes something.
A design.
Yeah, it makes a design. You can do that. Steelers and Eagles.
Alan says he's Team Steelers. Bruce says he didn't take his med.
Uh-oh. So here is why they changed the name of the character.
Darth says that's exactly what it was. They combined the team for a couple of years.
This is why, and this is truth. This is not me being funny or making fun of you, Bruce, because I would never make fun of you. But this is an interesting. It shows you the difference in society between what was that, the late 70s that Lou Ferrigno played the Hulk and Bill Bixby played David Banner, but they changed it because some TV executive, when they first were pitching the Hulk, and he found out that the Hulk's alter ego was Bruce Banner, thought that Bruce was a very gay sounding name.
Bruce?
Because it's one of those things that like people say Bruce sometimes.
Bruce
and I don't even know where that comes
from. Make fun of me, I don't care.
Because some of the most, because like you said, like the Hulk, Batman, they're both named Bruce. I don't know how Bruce got that connotation, but so this TV executive.
His name was Martha.
It's Martha. But so this TV executive said that the name sounded like a gay man.
He said Bruce Jenner, LOL.
Oh, well, there you go. Well,
Bruce.
Yeah. My friend tells a story
Just
about.
saying.
My friend tells a story about how at his church there was this little old lady who was really concerned one time. This was in Canada, actually. She was concerned because I guess there was a gay pride rally or something going on. And so they were praying all together, and this little old lady starts praying, and she starts praying about this gathering. And, there's this old stupid thing where people say, God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. And anyways, he said he's sitting there listening, and this little lady's praying and stuff, and she's talking about this rally that's happening, and she says, and I guess she was like, I can't remember where he said she was from. It was like some like European country where she was originally from. So she had this accent, and she says, "And Lord, we pray for the gays because we know that you'd created Adam and Eve." And he's sitting there in his mind thinking like, "Oh Lord, here she goes. She's actually going to tell the joke. Like, are you serious? Right? In the prayer, she's going to say Adam and Steve. And she goes, but Lord, we know that you did not create Adam and Eve, or you created Adam and Eve. You did not create Adam and a Bruce. And he said he just lost it. He said everybody was looking at him because she goes, a Bruce, not just Bruce, a Bruce. You did not create the Adam and a Bruce. And he said he just lost it because he couldn't believe it. It was one of those things that like he was not expecting at all.
Alan says my sister's boyfriend always called my dog Bruce for some reason, even if his name was Zach.
I'm just gonna call the dog whatever I want to call the dog. I don't care.
Bruce said, my name is Bruce. I carry a pink briefcase to work, and I like arts and crafts.
And I've got cute, sparkly bedazzled gloves.
Spirit fingers.
Spirit fingers.
Bruce said, lost video, ... And then he says, there you go. I knew somebody was going to figure it out. Yes, my real name is Bruce Jennings. That's like my favorite is when Bruce Jennings went over to, what does he call himself now?
Bruce Jenner, you mean?
Or Bruce Jenner.
Because he's Bruce Jennings.
Yeah, I know. My brain and my mouth don't want to work together.
Like, nope.
What did Bruce Jenner change? Caitlyn?
Caitlyn, yes. Caitlyn.
My favorite video is when he first had the surgery and he's sitting there like this and he's got like the dress on, whatever, and that dog's next to him. He's like, I'm so confused because I still smell balls.
That was pre-surgery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Caleb says, fun fact, the death of the Hulk TV movie, his name was retconned and his tombstone is the full name Bruce David Banner.
Is it? That's interesting that they changed it back. Huh.
Alan says, when my dog was alive, I used to call him all sorts of names. And then he put like winky faces. And then Bruce Jennings says, am I back? My computer is being a douche. I've never heard a computer called that. That's funny. Yes, you are back, Bruce. Might want to clean your computer.
How's that Junkman live stream treating you? No, I like Junkman. He's got a different approach, but I like it because he's old school and he talks about a lot of stuff that I remember that I liked. You know, I know he's probably got to be around my age because he there's something about him. He's like
he kind of reminds me of like with that little bit of like that not southern accent, but the way that he has the accent kind of reminds me of one of the guys that work on all those same movies like Talladega Nights with
Will Ferrell?
Yeah, there's like it's like the same like 5 guys.
Oh yeah, he's just a good old boy.
He reminds me of one of those guys.
Yeah, he's just a good guy, and he likes the same kind of toys that we like. He loves Star Wars toys and stuff, and he's actually a friend of mine on Facebook now. That's what I really like about Daryl. That's his name. Is that he he's just a regular guy. Like we're friends on Facebook and we comment on each other's stuff regularly, and I dig that. I like knowing another YouTuber like that we have similar.
Bruce says, as a fat kid,
I actually want to have him on sometime or do like something together with him.
Bruce says, as a fat kid, I have always been teased about Bruce Jenner. Now, well, you know what is going on with him. It started all over again.
Oh boy, I bet.
And then Alan said, so Star Wars talk has been postponed for the day, LOL.
Well, we talked about the episode. We
went into Superman, and then we went into Gabe Ruth.
I know. It's been weird. It's been a weird, long journey. But I'll just say this. We all agreed that tonight's episode was really good. It was much better than last week. Tiff, on a scale of 1 to 10, we should probably rate it. What would you give this week's? Knowing last week what you gave it, what'd you give it last week?
5 points.
5 points?
5.5 or 6 out of 10.
I think I gave it a 6, yeah.
I gave it the lowest.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually give this week like a 8.5, 9. Honestly, because of the way that it jumped up, it was intriguing, it was interesting, and then when they found Echo, and I was like, oh. So I mean, it's like they really picked it up. If they can keep this kind of momentum going forward, it's going to shape up to be a pretty good season, I think. Yeah,
I would say it's an 8.5. It's an 8.5 for me.
Caleb gave it an 8 out of 10.
Yep.
Bruce Jennings said Ricky Bobby. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. That's who he reminds me of, is Ricky Bobby.
Oh, what's his name? He plays.
Yeah.
Have you guys?
Shake and bake.
Have you guys ever?
Darth at 8.5. Big difference this week. Much better.
Have you guys ever watched Check It Out, Dr. Steve Brule?
Darth says, I wake up every morning and piss excellence. Bruce says, I love his videos. I'm just saying he's not comfortable being alive. Or being live. Not alive.
Oh,
being
yeah.
live.
Oh, okay. I've never actually... I don't think I've ever actually seen one of his live streams.
And then Caleb said Marvel Comics and the MCU have since taken the names as canon. In a dossier in the Incredible Hulk movie, Bruce's middle name is David.
Yes. Yes, I did see that. So I'm glad that happened, because I think that makes it make sense, you know, as a whole. But no, I'm interested to see where they go from here with the season. I hope that the rumors and that the
that
discussion,
those first couple ones are just
that the
get
first
those out of
couple
the
were
way
just
and-
pre-written, and so they need to go. I'm still holding out. I figure they got to do something
Bruce
with
is 8.5 tonight.
So here's the thing. Before Clone Wars went off the air, they have an episode that featured Darth Revan, right? At some point, I would think that, I mean, because we're seeing the Clone Wars, you know, the Clone Trooper stuff here, and the original series did that, where you'd have these Clone War episodes where, you know, it would just be about the troopers and stuff, and it fleshed out a lot of those characters. It's great. But then it would pan back, and it would go to Yoda, and Yoda's finding out stuff about the Force. It's where, you know, he meets Qui-Gon and learns about, you know, how to be... Well, when we last left off in Season 6,
Yeah.
Yoda was finding out all that stuff about how to live beyond this life and to keep your existence and stuff. I really hope they explore that in this season. I hope that they get deeper into that with Yoda, because that's where Yoda was the last time we saw him. I mean, so if we see Yoda again, he's coming off of that. So we need to see that. But I'm really hoping that that they flesh out that Darth Revan episode.
Yeah.
Because there was going to be an episode where somehow they were going to call on Sith of the past or something. I don't know what it was or something. I know that there's.
Like
I think
the
there's.
Last Jedi kind of Sith-y?
I think that the episode is actually available somewhere. It may
Nice.
be. It may be on YouTube, where it's not finished. But it was, but it's not. So they were going to canonize Darth Revan, because right now Darth Revan is not canon, and so they were going to canonize Darth Revan in an episode of Clone Wars, and then it never happened, and so it's just been sitting out there. And they've said that they want to bring Darth Revan in. They've admitted that, and like now you got all these toys. I mean, GameStop just had 2 different Darth Revan toys, the Black Series figures. I got them both. They're both awesome. They're dark side and light side, because if you're not familiar with Darth Revan's story, he was a Jedi, he turned to the dark side, and then he turned back because he had wasn't because he was evil. He had fundamental problems with the Jedi, which I can really respect that. But then
Alan, I'm hoping to make them in the next week or so. Actually,
what's that?
I posted a picture of those zucchini sliders.
Oh yeah.
And Alan says, "Hope you make those burgers the one day that you posted a picture of them. It was so good."
But so they're actually releasing a Black Series. It may not even be the Black Series. Well, it's a Black Series, but it's like a nicer one of Darth Revan's lightsaber. It's the deluxe Darth Revan lightsaber. It actually goes both red and purple, because he actually had 2 lightsabers. It's kind of weird that it goes red and purple, given the fact that the lightsabers are 2 different hilts. But he's got this really fancy, weird hilt, and apparently in there, I think you can, you know. Darth Tasty, you and I were talking about this last week, but I think in this one you can actually open up and see the crystal inside, from what I've heard. Maybe not.
Darth said just pre-ordered mine yesterday. Super expensive, but worth it.
Oh yeah, and I pre-ordered mine last week too. And so I mean, so they got all this Darth Revan merchandise. So I'm really hoping that that's going to correlate with this, because that's something that I'd really be into, and I'd really like to see done. I would like to see them do something with Darth Revan. He's one of those characters that everybody really seems to like. Why aren't they doing something with him?
Bruce said, my middle name is Edward and I can count to potato. I thought it was serious when he said Edward because I'm like, because I loved that Ed Norton played one of my favorite Bruces.
Yeah.
Caleb says Darth
Little
Bane.
8-pound, 2-ounce Jesus.
Caleb says Darth Bane. Yoda met Darth Bane in that episode. Darth Revan was in a deleted scene of the Mortis arc. Then Alan mentioned me making the little zucchini sliders, which is funny because one of those little burgers would be enough for us now.
Yep.
Bruce says miss the doggies tonight.
Yeah.
Darth says the deleted scene with Revan is on YouTube. I just looked it up.
Yep.
Bruce Jennings says, I met him in a swamp down in Dagobah where it bubbles all the time like a giant carbonated soda.
SODA soda. So I got to tell you this.
And real quick, though, before you go, because I know it's going to take off. Pre-ordered. Alan says, funny, for years I always called them lightsabers. LOL. And Bruce says, Alan, I did too.
I think we all did that as kids.
Me and my brother called them lifesavers.
Oh, yeah?
Because if you used them, they were lifesavers.
They were lifesavers because if somebody else had one and you didn't.
Yep.
Trust me, we experienced that when we went down to Disney because there's this place called The Void where you do these 3D things. You put on this chest thing and you
Bruce
put on
says,
goggles.
I thought purple was reserved for Sam Jackson.
Well, apparently it's out there now because you can get them down at Disney when you make your saber.
My saber that I made is purple.
It is. So
Should
you put,
I show
you,
them
you put
since
the, you
we
put
have
the
a live stream?
you put the 3D goggles on, or you put this headset on and everything, and when you put it on, it's awesome because you are transported into. Because we still haven't done our Disney breakdown, but we'll just give you a little taste. This place called The Void, it's in Disney Springs, so it's not even in Disney. It's in the free place, outside mall place you can go. It's $45 to do what?
Can I show them my
You can show them
birthday
your lightsaber. But here's the thing. It is amazing. You go in, you put this vest on, it vibrates, it does this stuff. When you put the visor down,
heavy, like
they put you in a
Do you
room.
want to show them yours too?
Sure. They put you in a room. And when you put the goggles down, I looked over at Tiffany in the corner, and she's a stormtrooper. And she looks at me, and I'm a stormtrooper. And when you look at your own hands, you have stormtrooper hands. And they take K2SO and somebody else, you're in a ship now, and they take you to Mustafar because you're there to get some kind of relic. And when you get off, there's stormtroopers and stuff. And you look all around you because it's a virtual world. You look all around you, and it's Mustafar. I mean, there's stuff behind you. You feel the heat.
You can smell the smoke.
Yes, it is amazing.
We were on one of the elevators, and I thought I was going to fall off of it if I moved.
You get a blaster. They give you a blaster, and when you shoot, you're actually seeing the laser blasts come out, and you have to shoot stormtroopers that are really there. It looks like you're on catwalks and stuff. It is amazing. But at one point, Darth Vader comes up out of nowhere.
I was in the front
him.
and I was about to pee my pants.
You shoot at Darth Vader and he deflects your blast back to you and you hear it hit your gun.
At me and he's like going and I'm like against the wall and I can't get away. I'm like, oh
hear
my god, I'm gonna be taken out by Darth Vader on my birthday.
The laser blast comes back and hits your gun. Every time you get shot, you feel it. But the laser blast comes back and shoots your gun. Yeah, it doesn't hurt, but you feel it. But the laser blast comes, shoot your gun, and all of a sudden your gun, you look down and you're looking at it, and it's like shorting out. And Darth Vader starts walking towards you with his lightsaber lit.
And you feel like the air.
And like you can't do anything. You don't have a gun anymore. It's the most helpless feeling ever. And I won't tell you what happens right now because you'll have to wait until we do our review. But
okay, hold on. Darth Tasty said when I told him, can I show the lightsaber? He says, yes, please, Tiff. Alan says, I have to say, you both are looking so well.
Thank you, Alan.
Isaac said, because he's watching now, he says, purple means you are extremely strong on the light side of the Force, pretty much meaning you'll always be on the light side. Yay, I chose purple. Bruce says, my brother and I, LOL. Caleb says, that's not canon. Kyber crystal colors don't have a meaning anymore, at least in Disney canon.
No.
Bruce says, show us. Isaac, or Man of San, M-A-N of San, says at Isaac, what's the blue mean? And also asked at Caleb, yeah, I always thought it was random. Isaac says,
I liked when the colors had
meaning.
I don't remember.
Isaac said blue was for Jedi Knights, pretty much showing you are one. And Alan says purple power for the win. So my lightsaber, I got to actually choose my crystal because we had 4 choices of color, and I chose mine as purple for my main one. We did get the other kyber
We got all the
crystals
kyber crystals
to change them out, like especially like white for Ahsoka, stuff like that. But
should we dim the lights a little bit?
probably. Bruce says I'm sinning right now. ... Envy.
Okay, I can't remember what color I had in here because I changed because the cool thing is we bought all the kyber crystals to change out the color because when you put a different colored crystal in, it changes the color. So I think it may be. I'm right. It's white. I got Ahsoka's white in here right now.
Mine.
And every time you do it, each crystal has a different sound in
It
the.
does.
Because it has a different sound pattern to it.
Don't hit me, please. Oh, and that because it's white when you hit it, it's yellow.
Turns yellow. Zero.
No, I was going.
Cut your hand off. Yeah.
Caleb says, "Did you make a lightsaber, Enosh?"
This is it. This is the lightsaber that I made right here. Yep, you can see right there. There's what, 3 different styles or 4 different styles?
4.
There's 4 different styles. There's like a power one that's kind of like more like Sith style.
Black and silver and red and.
Yeah, those kind of colors. We chose the elemental, was it? Called the elemental, and it's supposed to be. I'll be honest with you, I just chose this because I like the look of it.
Me too.
Because the other ones, some of them had a really, like the handles looked like they'd be really super thick. Even though I liked kind of how they looked, it just didn't look as good. These are supposed to be elemental. You're supposed to be more like in tune with like nature and stuff like that about the Force. But yeah, but I just like the look of it. This is like supposed to be some kind of like natural like bone of whale bone from somewhere. But
is it space whale?
It's some kind of space whale. But so that's what you can see here. So there's my switch right there. But it all opens up. The only thing that I don't like about it is messing around with it. Because it all screws together. It has a tendency to want to unscrew. But right here, you can see, you unscrew this. I don't know how close this is. I can't tell. Sorry. So all this unscrews right here, and I'll actually do an actual review of this, but I'll just kind of show you guys here. And so when I do the review, I'll make sure that it's all nice and close and stuff so that you guys can see. But when you take this off here, this middle part comes undone. And you take off the 2 halves. There's a tube on the inside there. And right there is your kyber crystal. And the crystal comes out just like that. So that's the white crystal. And then it just goes right there. And then when you put it in, this is kind of cool. When you put it in, it sings. When you get it into place, there's a little spot, there it goes. And see, it lights up and it sings. When they present them to you to pick
Darth Tasty says, I need one.
For your lightsaber, they open up this canister and it's got all of it's got not all of them because you can buy
all the colors that they offer as the original starting set kind of thing.
Yeah, so you can buy all of the colors.
Was it red, blue, green, and purple?
Yeah, but when you first build it, you can only pick between red, green, blue, and purple. But you can also buy yellow, which we bought a yellow one. I'll show you the crystals in just a second. But you can buy a yellow one and buy the white one. And then Tiffany will show you hers because we both picked elemental. So we have different parts.
The only thing that you and I have the same thing of is this.
Yeah, we had the same top
only
piece.
thing we both...
But it was funny because I kind of did that. I kind of wish now I kind of had the leather part to yours because I like it a little bit better than the bone. But basically it shows that we're both kind of elementals and but she's got different parts, and so pretty cool. I'm gonna go get the other crystals to show you, but then make sure that you're up here close, Tiff, so you can show them. And you get this cool like kendo stick bag. This is really cool too.
I mean, they did offer ones that like were leather that looked very Jedi-ish, but it was like another $50-something.
Well, you could get one that was like a hard shell case where you could take the tube out, and because you can take the tube out of this, you can take the blade out and just hang this. You can see right here. that mine's got a hangy thing right there. She's got a thing on the side that you can get a clip for. But I can hang this on a belt.
Bruce
which
says,
is not a clip.
anyone remember the old Duracell commercial where Darth Vader runs out of batteries?
Yes, it's awesome. But yeah, this takes batteries, and there's a battery chamber.
Darth says, I love the tooth on there for mine. And fun fact, we found out this is actually a Rancor tooth.
So you can see there that that if you I haven't taken this apart since I got it actually. So
I wouldn't. Yes.
so that's the tube on the inside, and then you replace the batteries in this. Where do you place the batteries at?
There's a screw right there.
Oh yeah, there's
maybe.
some screws there
Oh,
maybe.
it comes apart right
But
there.
you can see here that this all lights up as well, where it shows that that this is in, because like when you take it out, it doesn't light up. But this is like an RF thing that
Aw. Caleb said, I bought a lightsaber from Saber Forge.
nice.
Custom metal hilt, hard plastic blade, green color. It was dope. Unfortunately, I dropped it down a stairwell and the blade shattered and the hilt got dented.
Man, I'm surprised to hear that with Saber Forge, because those are supposed to be battle sabers.
Bruce says, I got ripped off twice buying lightsabers on the internet. Gonna have to make my own.
How did that so that was a rip-off, Bruce, the thing that you ordered? Because I was really curious about that. I know that, you know, we all talked about that, but I saw that you ordered one recently.
See,
Of course,
mine has
when
a
I got it
different-
all taken apart.
Mine has a different sound to it than yours did.
Yep.
So mine is purple.
Yeah,
which
go ahead
looks
and
super
show them yours up close.
with the elemental. So we have the same top part of the hilt, but I kept that same scroll going down here, and if you turn it around, you know, it's got like the wood look right here. Same here. I got the scroll being, of course, the girly with the purple. So my three pieces together near the top have the silver scrolls, but then this right here, it feels like a plastic, like a rubber, but it's made to look like leather, and I loved it because it kind of reminded me of Rey's lightsaber. And then I loved the tooth, where I don't know if you can see this, but it even has the little tooth marks, because then you can hear from there, but there is where you can hear the sounds of the lightsaber through it. But they said when they were building it that this is actually supposed to be a Rancor tooth, which I joked with Enosh, because I'm like, it's a Rancor tooth. Luke fought a Rancor, therefore I am a Skywalker. So, but this is my girly, elementally, very fun. And the cool thing about this, though, was the fact that
Looks great on screen.
it wasn't just that I figured...
Looks really great on...
Really?
Yeah, it looked really good.
Because I figured it was going to be something like, here's all the pieces, build it, okay, we're done in, 10 minutes. This took like a half an hour, and in the story, and it was just like when they're like, okay, close your eyes, imagine your color, and then all of a sudden the crystals are in front of you, and then it was like every piece that you put together, she had a story and explained it, and coming up to you going, why did you choose that? And it's like bringing you into the story, and so this was definitely just an emotional thing too.
Oh, for sure.
Super
Definitely.
cool. But this is my, which is awesome because on my 40th, I got to build this. My first lightsaber I got to build, not just buy. I mean, I bought it, but I got to build it, so.
So, I'm going to
Very,
take the
very
white
cool.
crystal out. So, the crystals come in these little canisters. You can see, obviously, that one's blue. There's the white canister. Right there, it says Kyber Crystal right on it.
Caleb says not even a saber forged blade could survive a 15-story drop.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I guess not. There's the red one. So, if we want to go all Sith, we can.
Which two people chose red when they built their sabers.
And there's yellow. So, show you guys what this looks like. So, you open up the canister. Just like that. And then there's the yellow crystal. Put this right over here. And what was really cool is I thought that these crystals would be more expensive than they ended up being, but they were only $16 a piece, and you get a whole different color. which is
Darth
the cool
said,
thing.
I've seen the videos of the saber build at Disneyland and Disney World, and yours was definitely better. The woman who did your ceremony was awesome.
She was phenomenal. She made that the best it could
Alan
possibly
says,
be.
I'm off. Chat again soon. Keep warm. Stay amazing.
Thanks, Alan. Thanks for joining us, man. Yeah. So see here, I'll put this yellow one in. You can hear it singing. There it is, glowing. Again. You can kind of spin that around there because it's got the
supposed
two.
to kind of spin it into place.
Yeah, it's got the 2 points, and then once it's in there really good. Then take that part and the bottom. Oops. Screw that on. Nice. Then once you do that,
Bruce says it wasn't even close to the video that was advertised. It was a toy from the dollar store.
are you serious? I wondered about that because that's too bad. People like that shouldn't be able to sell on anywhere, as far as I'm concerned. That's just not right. To take advantage of people like that, and and
Who are going to actually spend that money on a...
right? You spend money thinking you're going to get something, but it goes to show you if something seems too good to be true, probably is. So then on here, see how you got these blue and red marks? On the inside there, if you can see that, there's blue and red marks. So you just match it up. So this one is red. I take the red piece and I match it up to the red.
Darth says, I got one of those cheap sabers for $30, but mine was double bladed and it changes colors. It really isn't that bad. I mean, it's not a nice one like Black Series are you have, but they're not bad.
So then you got the blue there, and then this will spin right into place. And then you just got to screw it all in.
Because it's 4 different pieces. You got the topper part, the part above the hilt, the part of the bottom, and then the bottom piece. So which was kind of cool because then when you're sitting here at the workshop, you literally have like all these different ones to choose from. So you're literally picking like every single person there had a different saber.
Yes, it finally lined up with the back here and the front here. It wasn't lined up before. So now I put the yellow one in.
Yellow actually looks cool with your hilt. Bruce says, did you meet the girl actor at Disney playing Rey? I heard she was dead on.
So we didn't meet her, but we saw her.
She was with Chewie at the Falcon when we were in line for the second time for Smuggler's Run.
Yep. The only thing I don't like about these is these seem to be a little bit loose.
Since Isaac is at a hockey game tomorrow, and it's just the 4 of us for half the day, we should do our Disney review, and whether we do a live stream or a video, we should do our Disney finally, our review of Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, that'd be good. So that's that one. And I'll show you. Oops.
Bruce says that is so cool.
Yeah, I really like the yellow one because, I like seeing the yellow one and the white one just because, obviously, I don't have those colors, and those are new colors to the Star Wars universe as far as, like, being canonized. And so I really dig that we're finally getting
Bruce
those.
says mine didn't even make the right sounds.
Aw, man, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy.
Did it make the pew-pew sound?
Well, I saw the ads for that one too. It was like $30, and it was supposed to be like my Luke Skywalker one, I think. And so that's too bad. So that's yellow. Let's see what else do I got. Oh, I got the green one and the white, and I got blue and red. Which one do you guys want to see next? What color do you want to see? Green, red, or blue?
Nothing yet. 9 people in the chat and it's cricket.
Sometimes there's a little bit of a lag.
Bruce said, I swear the sounds from mine were from Pirates of the Caribbean.
I'm sorry.
Caleb says green.
Green. Okay, we'll go green. Which
the
green?
first to
Green was
answer.
the original one that I took because
When we built.
because it was an elemental, and I felt like green was that, because green was also, when the colors meant something. Green was kind of the Jedi master.
She really was, Bruce. He says, I've seen some videos of that girl, and she seems amazing at entertaining the kids. Yeah. She had to have been good at entertaining the kids, because we had nothing but adults at our build, and I felt like a kid because she brought you into the story.
It's just so cool to have a saber with the thing in it, an actual.
Darth said green, and Terrell McDonald said red. But no, but that girl though, I mean, she was awesome, because even though I know she was an actor, I know she was a Disney kind of person, when she's coming up and talking to me like, why did you choose the whalebone, or not the whalebone, the rancor tooth, and
Yep.
I didn't even know it was a rancor, because she explained it, and how, well, now that you chose that, that means strength, and this, and it's like she was like bringing you into your own story that you were building. It was like,
yeah, that was,
she was phenomenal. Like, she was doing so good that she was making me tear up. And maybe it was the way she was acting, but it's like the way she was talking, and then when you heard Yoda's voice, and it was like, everything, the music was building as she was doing her spiel, and it was like, holy cow, it was like all of that together made me almost tear up.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure.
Bruce says, if it at least made the right sounds, I could have used the guts to make my own.
Oh yeah. And you can see here the color of your crystal determines the color that shows up here, so that's cool too.
Bruce says, did you get a black one?
No, it used to be, I guess, when they first started them, they were in different containers, where apparently you could hold them up to the light and you could see what the color was based on that. But
Darth said the black ones are hard to find, but there is a trick to finding them.
no, but not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore. There was at one point, because these little things here, you used to be able to hold them up to the light.
Put the flashlight from your phone on.
Or put the flashlight of your phone up to it, and the thing is you could see through it, right? Because it was more transparent. What they started doing is they put a little insert into them now with the red ones, because the black ones came in the red, because the black ones show red. When you put them into your saber, the black ones turn red. They don't turn black. It's not like you get a black saber. You get a red saber, but it's a black kyber crystal. And so they're very rare. But and I guess the chances of getting one are like 1 in 12 or something like that. But people were going through and they were trying to find them, so they put this little insert in there to block the light. So now you can't do that.
Bruce says, I still have envy for that saber. Darth says, we're both sitting right now, Bruce. I'm also very envious.
So let me.
Maybe we'll just all have to, when we take the boys, we'll just all have to do a Poindexter Lounge full family vacation, and everyone just comes and meets us down at Disney.
That would be
and we'll
fun.
all build sabers.
Boy, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? Get like everybody to go down to Disney at the same time, and we just all go together.
Build sabers.
Poindexter Lounge, like literally, like everybody goes to.
Poindexter Lounge family vacay. We all.
There we go. I fixed it. I'm sorry. It was like weird. It was weirdly loose there on me.
Yeah,
so.
we'll have to have T-shirts that say Poindexter Lounge family vacay.
Right there you go.
But
Nerd family vacay. Okay, so the green one.
Bruce says, that's it. I'm coming to Michigan to play with your toys.
Awesome. Come on, man. You're welcome.
Yes. Isaac has a queen bed. He can sleep on the couch.
I wouldn't just extend that to anybody, but you're a cool dude. So, there's the green, as you can see. Like I said, the only thing that I don't like about them is just because they have to screw together. Once you're like working them around, they're not like the hilts of like the ones that you just buy, because you put it together. And so I almost want to get some like, I don't know, some sticky tacky stuff to keep them, because like if I do this, then all of a sudden it wants to come apart, and undo. But let's see, it just did something weird there. Okay, there we go. So
But you keep taking it apart to change the crystals, though, too.
yeah, but I mean, just using it is making it makes it come loose. But it's okay.
Hey, watch my face, dude.
I am. And then that's kind of yellow as well. So that's green.
Darth Tasty said totally in.
Nice. It'd be fun to do some kind of meetup.
We could all get Star Wars themed Mickey ears.
That's green.
Darth says, let's carpool, Bruce. LOL.
Nice. Nice. Okay, whoops. We'll do blue next since the last one we have is the red, so I can go to the dark side to end it. For Darth Tasty. So here's blue. I just love that you can actually play around with this and that's what's so cool about it is like you can play around with it and take off, take the crystal out, and if you feel like being a different color, you can be a different color. You can just do anything you want to do. That's the nice thing about building this lightsaber, is that so there's the blue crystal.
Aw.
Oops, I dropped
Bruce
it.
says, funny thing, we tried to come down there on the same days to see you. My wife couldn't get off work.
Aw, that would have been fun. It's been a lot of fun, man. So there's the blue crystal in there. Once again, we shall put this on here. Whoa! Premature initiation. It's because I had my switch in the on position. All right. There we go. And there's blue. And you get that classic.
Darth Tasty said, I know I favor the dark side, but I would actually make a green one myself.
Would you?
Like, I'm girly. I got to make my first one. Of course I was going purple. But it looks really cool with my hilt.
does.
Caleb says there's a guy that does something called Get Your Bounty, and once a month he goes to Galaxy's Edge and put a bounty on himself and posts that in different vacation Facebook groups. Bruce says, I have a theater in my basement. We could binge watch the original release.
Oh, that's nice. We'll have to come down. I don't think I've ever been to Pittsburgh.
Caleb says
I might have
said
driven through.
bounty is he will pay for a lightsaber building session if you...
What's that?
Did you hear anything
No.
that he said?
I heard that Caleb said there's a bounty or whatever.
He says there's a guy that does something called Get Your Bounty. Once a month he goes to Galaxy's Edge and puts a bounty on himself and posts that in different vacation Facebook groups. He says said bounty is he will pay for a lightsaber building session.
Really? I wonder how that works though, because you have to pre-book your lightsaber. So you'd probably have to take the chance that you were already going to build a lightsaber, because you can't just go in and build a lightsaber. In fact, I have a friend, Dwayne, who just went down there at the beginning of January, and that's actually one of the things he was really ticked about, was they had an open ticket where they could go any day, and so they picked the nicest day. But unfortunately, he wasn't prepared, and he didn't realize that you had to actually book your experience of building your lightsaber, and they got there like an hour or two after the park opened, so they didn't get to go on Rise of Resistance, because you got to be right there when the park opens. If you watch the video, you have to be there for those experiences. You can't just wait in line for stuff.
My mom and dad that are in their
Disney.
60s, they have to be there when it opens. I told her what to do with the app, and she's planning on doing that because she's not going to miss out. She goes, whether I've seen the movies or not, she goes, I'm not going to miss out on something like that.
Yeah. Plus, these are cool because they come in these little tubes, so you can actually just put these little tubes,
They're cool for display and play.
They're cool for display because they actually say Kyber crystal on them. And so that's pretty
And
neat.
they look like little kind of like cool tubes the way that you...
So here is the red one. Now, I did hear a rumor that, because you can see if you look at this, you can see there's a little RF component in there, and that's what tells the lightsaber what color to be and all that good stuff. Apparently, if you have an RF
Like a modulator.
switcher or modulator or whatever, I guess, you can just get one crystal, and you can set the different frequencies where it'll do all the different colors.
But they're kind of expensive compared to what
But
we
a
paid
modulator
for
is
the
going to
crystals
cost you. I
themselves.
looked into it because I was trying to see if it would be, less expensive. This reminds me of a Jolly Rancher, by the way. I want to put it in my mouth and be like, I wonder if kyber crystals are tasty.
It's the same thing you do to the batteries in your guitar stuff.
But so you can get the modulator, but the modulators, like, unless you have one sitting around your house, it's like $80 to get one or whatever. And so it's like, well, it's $16 for a crystal. So there's only what?
And
There's
we
four,
each got our own crystal and we built it that came with it, and then we ended up buying a couple.
We bought 4 crystals, so that was $60, and you get the actual crystals. You have the crystal and the color, and that's part of the fun because it changes it all up. So I don't understand what
It's gonna be like 5, 6, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Caleb says, "Gotta go, guys. My dog needs some attention. Thanks for a great time."
All right.
He says he also sometimes gives out bars of Beskar. Apparently, he
Nice.
works with metal and stuff.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm just gonna do this, and then we'll call it a night too. But I'll show you
'cause
the
it's
red one.
midnight.
Show you the red one here real quick. And just like that, you go to the dark side, baby. So it's cool that you have all the different components, all the different things.
And like that one buzzes differently than the white.
Yeah, you can hear it's got the very Darth Vader. Knock the popcorn thing off. So, it's very cool. One of the best parts of our trip, for sure. We bonded over it.
Which is funny because you got that sound, and then if you hear
Oh, yeah.
mine.
Do them together. Pull that.
Oh, no, I meant. Well, I meant if you hear yours, mine has a different sound than yours.
See, now we could go as Darth Revan. Right? But. What are we doing?
Don't rip mine so hard. Holy
Well,
cow.
no, it'll take that. You just can't.
Mine's not.
I heard something. I haven't.
Oh, mine did. It just went yellow.
I haven't
Just did a
confirmed this
minute
yet,
ago.
but somebody told me that these were battle sabers, but I don't know that for sure, so I haven't taken it into battle. I'm not going to hit it really hard.
Caleb says I'm head to bed. See you guys
All right,
next
guys.
stream.
Well, hey, guys, thank you so much for having a good time with us. We really appreciate you guys joining us for all these live streams. I love the conversations that we have. We have a lot of fun here, and you guys, you guys make it a lot of fun. So, good episode tonight for sure. Good conversation. I like the Star Wars conversation. Obviously, we talked lightsabers. We talked Superman, which are always Star Wars and Superman are always my two favorite subjects. So that's a cool thing. I like that. So thanks, guys, so much. Good episode tonight. Good episode tonight. Hopefully they keep this up and we get more like this. Right?
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, until next time, may the Force be with you. All right. Have a good night, guys.
Everyone's winding down. We got to put our sabers away so the dogs don't eat them.
All right. All right.
Tasty said good night.
Good night, guys. Say good night, Tiff.
Good night, Tiff.
All right, guys. Bye.